ho. Ho, ho, ho. That is, we're taking excerpt from Un Chien Andalou from Delouis. Buñuel. Directed by Louis Buñuel. And it is a bit of a, well, it's a bit of a Dadaist little world. I think that is going to end up being the official, for now, the official movie of Freeqo's iChaps. It's going to be Un Chien Andalou, and our official movie of Freeqo Talks the News is already pretty much everybody knows because it's huge by now. It's Metropolis. So those two movies signify everything, pretty much. Let's get ready to get this thing started here. Let's see where we're going here. All right, let's get to our opening. This is where the show officially begins. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready for the official opening? Here we go. This is the Blue Light Special on Isle Naughty Bits and Science. This is from Freeqo's iChap, Saturday, May 2nd, 2020. On this iChap, we're going to have Approaching the Blue Light of the Bacterial Brain, a biofilm for Gürol Süel. Total War, the Machines versus the South China Sea. The Flexible Code of Forms Living for Gunther. Earliest known light forms. And finally, Possession and Creation, the Evolution of Sexual Exchange. And these are the news poems throughout the week that I have written, one news poem a day. But I don't include the news part. I am just going to read the poems. I may offer some commentary, I may not. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Let's get ready to get the first thing recorded. So, all right, I think I'm going to go back here, but I am going to, what do I got going on here? Where's the little night music here is lousing? All right, let's mute you. That's what we'll do, because there's something I want to do. I'd like to get this, this thing. Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to introduce the poem, and then we're going to do the swerve. All right, ready? We got this. Ready? 3, 2, 1. This is the Monday poem for our weekly iChap for May 2nd, 2020. This poem is Possession and Creation, the Evolution of Sexual Exchange. Breathing into honey, stepping into its sticky invitation. A body cocooned in the sweet slick as it follows the trails of the potential down the length of a well-curved leg. Toes painted like a vine of tomatoes. We articulate the path of our own conqueror willingly as we submit our necks to the other's mouth. My mouth consumes your fauna and your flora, containing the full possession of the ideal I've made of your salty shores. Sex is heroic. I am the king of the seas that define your belly, and the swath of stars that dazzle the glimmer of your mercury pure-poured eyes. I dipped the flamed candle onto the cauldron of fire, and am lit to illumine all the dark rooms inside of me that I forget in the course of the great flood that is sweeping us both to the end of this tangled tale. I possess you. Am possessed. A lot of procreating is a lot of data exchange where force flows into force until two are the one thing that bursts the new, the act of creation, which need not offer anything but friction and lubrication and repetitive action alone, yet taste. The entering is possessed by the pre-work, the action that fills senses with the imagined totality of the other we are consuming, are consumed by. We want nothing but release. But that's a lie. We want the world. Or at least we want what you own. As they might be giants once said, I don't want the world. I just want your half. I want your half. I want. The house of Saad was built on armies of doctors that kept the Ibn al-Sad in the sexual flow, come what may, even if mothers were missing their physicians as a result. Sex. The exposed, the honey that fuels the machines we've designed to assure at the end of the day we too can partake in the perpetuation of the species by wearing a condom and conquering the girl, or taking a pill and owning the boy. I want you, I want you, I want you, and not to have my baby, but to own my soul, only to have it returned to me after I've consumed you, my soul and all. And that was the news poem for Freeqo's iChap for Saturday, May 2nd, 2020. Stay tuned. This is the 4 o'clock show on the Akshay Batsa YouTube channel. Coming up is going to be the 5 o'clock show. And the name of that 5 o'clock show, that's going to be Earliest Known Light Forms. Now, sometimes during this section, I may have something more to say about the poem in this case. No, I don't have anything more to say. I'm just going to move on to the next one. You'll have to wait till 5 o'clock if you're watching on the Akshay Batsa YouTube channel. That's 4 o'clock for you right now, Eastern Standard Time. But if you're watching live on the dlive.tv/Freeqo show, which starts at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you don't have to wait. Alrighty then. So I will leave this right here because I'm going to use this as the transition to set up the Tuesday poem. I'll take a little bit of waters here. Get this ready here. Where are we going to go here? I'll tell you what, we're going to have to go here. No. Well, that's a little bit of a problem. Alrighty, so I think I'm going to have to go back here and then go up to Tuesday. Okay, well, that's going to be a pain, but that's what I'm going to have to do because stuff. I actually meant to work on this show because this is like basically more or less the look of last week's show, and I intended on doing some stuff, but I spent last night working on the Freeqo Talks the News show and totally forgot about this until an hour before the show. So there's that. So we'll make do. So here we go. We're going to record the Tuesday show. Ready? Here we are. The Tuesday poem. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. This is Freeqo's weekly iChap for Saturday, May 2nd, 2020. This was written on April 28th, Tuesday, 2020 for Freeqo Talks the News. The title of this news poem is Earliest Known Life Forms. Earliest known life forms. The spirit below the motion was the genetic what-ifs that coiled around that tiny speckled blot. Sigismund was ready to troll. Earth are microorganisms, ago, the long stroll through the seas, Sigismund had idea. The genetic factory that controlled the potential load. I add load, I say it, I visualize it. I seriously hope you, the reader, did as well. Load. A cluster of DNA detritus on the fatty folds of time, so to speak. Microorganisms, permineralized. Earth are microfossils, billion years after the oceans. Sigismund was heroic in the manner in which the core explodes and the detritus leaks into the potentials around, so that miracles if possible did more than merely flicker for a moment and die. They thrived. They thrived. They thrived. Putative fossilized. Ago. Hydrothermal vent precipitates. I am not defined by this. Sometimes. Life is not defined by the forms we hold in our abacus, such as they are today. Not long formed. Time that life, after the formation, ago. I left that load behind and traveled off into the sunset before me and behind me. It was then that I realized I was on the wrong planet, where there was one sole blot in the ether before me. I set down Sigismund and headed for home. This place was too weird for me. All right, that was the Tuesday news poem for Freeqo Talks the News, which you can watch you can watch live, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday on dlive.tv/Freeqo, Freeqo. We also live stream on YouTube's Action Batsa YouTube channel as well at the same time. And you can get our excerpts up on YouTube Action Batsa and BitChute Freeqo. Coming up next on the YouTube Action Batsa channel is going to be the 6 o'clock show. The 6 o'clock show is going to be the Wednesday poem, and that is going to be The Flexible Code of Forms Living, a poem for Gunther. But you'll have to wait till 6 p.m. to get that poem, unless, of course, you're watching the live stream on dlive.tv/Freeqo, Freeqo, in which case you don't have to wait. All right. So I like that. And then I go back to here, and I get ready for the next poem, and I get a little bit of what am I doing? Getting ahead of myself. I don't want to get ahead of myself. You know, normally before I do the shows, I also have to have, I like to have the thumbnails for the videos done in advance, and I didn't even, oh man, I really dropped the ball on this. But I didn't drop the ball on, I was here, got my show out there, and I'm happy with the show so far, don't get me wrong, but it is going to be better next week. I'm happy with it. I think it's good, you know, subjectively, I think it's fine. I'm doing a good job, relatively speaking. But next week, so after I'm done here, I'm probably going to work on this part, getting a few things tweaked on here, and then I got plans for the website, but we'll talk about that later. Let's get our sip of water. And let's get to the Wednesday poem. Are you all ready for the Wednesday poem? We're going to get to the Wednesday poem in, here we go, 3. By the way, as you can figure, I haven't set on exactly how I'm going to do the workout. I'm kind of doing the same kind of Freeqo Talks news thing, but eventually I'll find something that's unique to the iChap thing that's different. But for now, I'm kind of using it just for reasons. This is the Flexible Code of Forms Living, a poem for Gunther, which was written Wednesday, April 29th, 2020 for the Freeqo Talks the News show. It's our news poem from then, and this is going to be recorded today, May 2nd, 2020 for the iChap show done on that same date. Let's get right to the poem. The Flexible Code of Forms Living, a poem for Gunther. Dark throng. The ocean sets up a cord of salt, diffused with the illuminated flush of lava, stirring. The mangled bodies of the microscopic vomit their fumes on the ocean floor. Some sparks tangle in the mouths of spiked anglers, some sparks mangle the course of debris, slicing through the protective layers that prevent, but not this time, such admixtures of toil. The cells pierce the load. The letting go is not a release, but a propulsion of microfactorial pistons in accord with a vague hunger for trying this diversion from the orthodox flow. The DNA tricks the body into becoming the new. Dark songs, we imagine told. We came from the fish that came from the cord of salt. It fell from the mind of the brine's accidentals. I took my boat into the brine's accord and made out with the wind between me and hell. Hell. Diversions. The path to the known as a sea fish gasping for air on the sand, spitting out cords of salt with legs. The legs. We cut the cord. We fill your head. You do not own the DNA you hold. We filled you. Load upon load. Dark throngs. The night singing. I ate a trough of fish out of the body of a whale, cut up in the surf to a wrecked spaceship, jagged with fish pouring out of its broken. The whale was spilling onto the fish, and the oils bound into the other in symphonic bother. I ate fish from dead whales until I could eat no more. Upon the load. The body escapes tearing, and thus does not reshape or reconfigure the constraints. Becomes a form without possible, without new, wrecked in its own stasis. I ate fish. I took my boat out of the bathtub and I noticed it dragged the sea in with it. The plastic snaps were not keeping the water out of the hollow. My little plastic boat. The accident compelled me to alter the forms. Duct tape. Water killed by the sheen. My little floating boat satisfies its own preference. To float. I float. The sea spits at me and I notice the salt snaps that brush the surface of my DNA with the new. A small boy steps out of the shower, unaware that his genetics have changed. Yet again. For the second time. All right, that's the Wednesday poem for, well, it was for Freeqo Talks the News on Wednesday, April 29th, 2020, and I recorded it today, May 2nd, 2020, and you're seeing it live on dlive.tv/Freeqo, Freeqo, or you're watching the excerpt, which was a 6 p.m. show here on the Action Bots YouTube channel. This is the Saturday 6 p.m. show. Coming up next for the Saturday 7 p.m. show, these are like micro shows, but they're shows. Just call them shows. They're shows. Is Approaching the Blue Light to the Bacterial Brain, a biofilm for Gürol, Süel. This is a news poem that was written Friday. Whoa, I went too far. Sorry. One ahead. It's Total War, the Machines versus the South China Sea that's coming up next. Thursday, April 1st, 2020 is when it was written for the Freeqo Talks the News show, and it will be recorded today, May 2nd, and you'll be watching it today, May 2nd, at 7 p.m. Unless, of course, you're watching live on DLive.tv, Freeqo, Freeqo, in which case you don't have to wait. All right. So, yeah, I got some stuff to do. I have overloaded my beloved little system here with stuff. And, I'm going to the show intro. That's cool. All right, here we go. We're back to here. So I have overloaded this little puppy, and now I have to pay the piper. I really have to basically, I got work to do. I'm going to get her done. I don't know if I'll get all of it done by the next set of shows. So the next set of shows probably won't reflect the full changes. So we'll see. At any rate, let's get ready to record the Thursday show. In 3, 2, 1. This is Total War, the Machines versus the South China Sea. This is a news poem written on Thursday, April 1st, 2020 for Freeqo Talks the News, which you can watch live on dlive.tv/Freeqo Monday through Friday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this show is recorded May 2nd, 2020 for Freeqo's iChap weekly show. Total War, the Machines versus the South China Sea. Force is the full war. From the start of the stone, the affair is married to edges continued through blood. The after effect. A garbled, half-carp thing flounders on the mud. That's not a fish, though. That's not a fish. The after effect. Koi eat the sun. Along the islands, nervous bulldozers tremble under spines. Sand pitch, push. Force is the full war. The battle is the justification of the load, always the load. I say it again and again, this mothering load. The load that is built by the same architects that designed this mothering war. War of the races for control of your machines, computational outrages in the folds of a quantum burp. But then the missiles, hypered into death. Shit on by the mothering load. Do you get this song? Do you get me? Along the islands, bulldozers sink under the sun, while seagulls peck at the salt. Do they do such things? I don't know. Are there seagulls in the South China Sea? I see. I went away from the threat and made it a soft load, but it's not. The soft is perched over the dinner table. We are hunkered down. But our threat is still from only within. So that was our news poem, Total War, the Machines versus the South China Sea for Thursday, April 1st, 2020. This is also the 8 p.m. or the 7 p.m. show on Freeqo's. Well, this is the Action Batsa YouTube channel. Where are we not seeing that? We need that, man. There you go. I'll just show that. The Action Batsa. There we go. The Action Batsa YouTube channel. This is the penultimate show. Coming up next is the last show of the day. And the last show of the day is going to be the 8 o'clock show, which is Approaching the Blue Light of the Bacterial Brain, a biofilm for Gürol, which was written Friday, May 1st, 2020 for the Freeqo Talks, the news show. Now, you can watch live on dlive.tv/Freeqo. Now, if you're watching on Akshabatsa, you're going to have to wait till the 8 p.m. show. But if you're watching live on dlive.tv/Freeqo, you don't have to wait. All right. Something went a little popper-loppers there. I told you I had plans to set up some new, some of the similar things to what I'm doing on Freeqo Talks to News. But anyway, we're getting ready to record this last poem here. Are y'all ready? We're about ready to punch this puppy in the head. We're going to make this happen in 3, 2, 1. Approaching the Blue Light of the Bacterial Brain, a biofilm for Gürol. This is written Friday, May 1st, 2020. It's a news poem that was written for Freeqo Talks the News for the Friday edition, and this is now the May 2nd edition of Freeqo's weekly iChap show. Approaching the Blue Light of the Bacterial Brain, a biofilm for Gürol. Written there, the blue light at the end of the pier. Shadow of Gürol, approaching the boathouse with the blue light lingering behind the dusty glass windows. Blue light. Cell systems. The full breathing. Sometimes the dendrites fold on empty space and produce a cluster of frenetic feedback loops. We call that biosciences, sciences, biochemicals, organs, bodies, the mix. The whole mix. We call this the mix. Membranes take potential bioengineering. We work potential to predictable. And create mechanical batteries and membrane potential memory banks. Gürol is going into the boathouse now. He outens the blue light. Electrical signaling. The other. The ether. A spot took its place. The blue lights, that is. And process is the collective voice, the collective experience. The gathered cells, potassium ion machines dancing into the source, the blue light. And that is the last poem for the, you know what, let me go here. That's better. That is the last poem for Freeqo's iChap for the week ending May 2nd, 2020. The title of the show has been The Blue Light Special. There we go. Where are we at here? There we go. Let's just do it this way. There you go. The Blue Light Special on Isle Naughty Bits and Science. Freeqo's iChap, Saturday, May 2nd, 2020. You can join us live on dlive.tv/Freeqo for the 12:30 show, or you watch the excerpt versions of the show on the Action Bots YouTube channel, which are aired between 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can find more excerpts of Freeqo Talks the News starting this Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or watch us live on dlive.tv/Freeqo at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, definitely got to do some stuff there and figure out some. I find that even figuring out like whatever spiel or bits or whatever I'm going to use for transitions, like these transitions here today, yeah, I got to work on it. I definitely have not worked on polishing this show up yet nearly as much as I have Freeqo Talks News, but then this is just a weekly, and so I'll work on that. I'll get her done. I'll get her. I'm very happy with the show that I did today, but I could definitely. It'll be better. It'll be better, folks. You guys are gonna love it, and you probably already do, but now you're just gonna love it all the more. So with that, I think I'm gonna play you guys out. I thank you all so much for joining me. I really enjoy doing these things and getting this stuff up there and archived and put in all these different forms. If anything else, just you preserve the voice just in case. Maybe somebody somewhere down the road will find this stuff interesting. You never know. So with that, let me bid you adieu. Let me get ready for Orchien Angelou. Yes, let's get that. There we go.